Hello everybody, and the brand new Scooby-Doo film is out, Scoob, and I watched it and I have some things to say. Scooby-Doo franchise is something that I've loved ever since I was a little kid. I would get so excited every time I would see Scooby-Doo cartoons on TV. I had the first movie on DVD and I would rewatch it so many times, although it's not a great movie. I realize it now, but back then it was so good for me. I would rewatch it so many times. And also the Scooby-Doo comic books. Whenever I would see them, I would beg my parents to buy them. I was just a huge fan of Scooby-Doo. So obviously, I was excited for Scoob when the first trailer came out and the poster. I was like, yeah, this can be actually pretty good. But however, like a month or two ago, before the film came out, I did lower my expectations because I got a certain vibe out of the film that this could be a movie that would be maybe not so good with a lot of cringy jokes. I don't know why it gave me that vibe that it's gonna have like Fortnite dances, something like that. It doesn't. Thank God it doesn't, by the way. Although it has one dabbing moment. I don't know why it's 2020, but it must be there. Dabbing is still not over, guys. But yeah, you get what I mean. So that was the sort of a vibe I was getting out of the film. I thought that it could be too childish. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean. But yeah, I was kind of worried about that. So I was like, okay, I'm going to lower my expectations so I don't get too disappointed. And I'm glad I did. Before we talk more about Scoob, let's get into the plot synopsis. So the plot follows our usual Mystery Incorporated team with Fred, Wilma, Daphne, and Scooby and Shaggy. And when one day Scooby and Shaggy get attacked by evil robots at the bowling alley, they get rescued by the superhero Falcon and his team. Yes, there's an established hero in this world line. So while Fred, Wilma, Daphne are trying to find out what happened to Scooby and Shaggy, the team of Falcon and Scooby and Shaggy realize that Scooby is really important in the villain's plans and is tied to the brand new mystery. Now, I knew that in order for Scoob to work, there were two important aspects that had to be there. And the first of them is the characters. And the characters are actually good. Fred is Fred, Wilma is Wilma. They are like they're supposed to be, the original Scooby-Doo characters. So with that, everything is okay. The voice acting is pretty good as well. So characters work, but there is a problem here. As I already said in the plot synopsis, Scooby and Shaggy get separated from the rest of the team. The rest of the team, Fred, Wilma, and Daphne, are trying to figure out where Scooby and Shaggy is. So they're separated, Scooby and Shaggy are separated too, with this new guy, the Falcon hero, and his friends. And to be honest, when I think about it, these guys, like the entire Mystery Incorporated team, got like 15 minutes of screen time together. How crazy is that? This new character, Falcon, gets more screen time than Fred, Daphne, and Wilma. I am not joking, that's true, and the movie treats him like we already know him, like this character is established. No, I don't care about him. He has his own little, like, small plot line and, like, an issue that gets resolved. I don't care about him, like, whatsoever. They pay so much attention to him rather than paying attention to the Mystery Incorporated team. It's crazy. The Falcon character is so useless. By the way, Falcon is such a cliched hero name, too. It's almost like the creators were like, okay, so what's trendy now, guys? Okay, we need this movie to be trendy. Oh, the superheroes, right? Superheroes are super trendy. Kids are gonna love that. Let's add that to the film. Yeah, who cares about the Mystery Incorporated team? Falcon. Yes, guys, care about him. I don't, personally. Jeez. But as I pointed out just a minute ago, the characters are themselves. The OG Scooby-Doo team is themselves. Fred is Fred, Shaggy is Shaggy, and the voice acting is good. So that's that. At least we have that in the movie. Now, the second thing that I knew that had to be in this movie in order for Scoob to work out would be the mystery and a plot. We need a good mystery so we get excited as an audience, and that's a huge component in a Scooby-Doo story. And there is no mystery in this movie, guys. None. I mean, there's technically a mystery, but it gets solved in like minutes. No excitement. I don't even want to count it as a mystery. It doesn't give you any sort of excitement or emotion. Nothing. It's absolute garbage. And so that already is like, okay, then why am I watching this movie? Scooby is about these guys solving a good mystery, you know? There is nothing of this sort in this film. The plot pretty much follows our villain who's trying to find these skulls in order to get a treasure, and the Scooby is really important in order to get it. He's tied to this entire mystery, and that is it. That's it. There is no excitement. Who's this guy? What he's doing? Why he's doing is the entire answer and everything in this mystery is so underwhelming. Who came up with this? The plot is just so primitive. The villain is super primitive. Everything is so primitive. It doesn't feel like a Scooby-Doo mystery film. It feels like in any other cartoon you would see on a TV. Really. It doesn't stand out in any way. There are trendy jokes in this movie. Now, trendy jokes can be funny, by the way, if they're done well, and there are some good jokes in this movie that made me giggle, so that's good. But there are some really cringy jokes as well that just were unfunny. And there's also a cameo in this movie that I'm not going to spoil, but a cameo by a certain celebrity that appears a couple of times. And only one joke with that cameo landed. Other ones were quite cringy, to be honest. It almost felt like the creators were like, okay, we got this cameo, okay, we got this guy, we have to use this person as much as we can. Like, let's add him into a couple of scenes and, you know, joke with that, like, create jokes, right? As I said, only one joke landed with that. The animation is decent. It's really cartoony. You know, it's not like a realistic Pixar animation, but it's okay. Our lead characters are animated well. However, at certain times you can see the animation gets a little lazy and backgrounds, and also if you know, there you can see pedestrians in the scene. You can see that their animation is, you know, just super simple. It's not bad, again, like it's not something that I would say, oh, it's a bad animation. It didn't bother me, but it's just like nowadays we see so many films, like animated films with such great animation by Disney and Pixar. They've set such high bar that you're like, oh, okay, this is a little bit lower, you know, quality animation. But it's still okay, you know, it didn't bother me. There's also an important drama in this movie that appears out of nowhere just to be there. There needs to be drama between Scooby and Shaggy. There's a Scooby and Shaggy friendship drama that just makes no sense. Like, it, you know, it doesn't happen gradually, and like it doesn't have any sort of logic whatsoever. It's there so we can, you know, care. But I do already care about Scooby and Shaggy's friendship. You don't have to have that in the movie. And it didn't work. It didn't touch my heart. It was just empty. You know, nothing there. But as I said, my biggest problem with this movie is the fact that there is pretty much no mystery. This is such a primitive cartoon that I don't even know how to, like, describe. Is this a Scooby film? Not really. What is a Scooby film or Scooby-Doo episode? It's about these guys. Maybe, for example, they're going into a new town and there are ghosts and they're trying to find out what's happening. Who's this ghost? Who's behind this? And they're going around the town and meeting these new people, trying to guess who can it be? Who can be the perpetrator? That's the Scooby plot. It's simple, but it works. But this is not a Scooby-Doo plot. There is a superhero we don't give a damn about, a villain who's super primitive, and the mystery that I don't even want to call a mystery doesn't evoke any emotion, any excitement, and the Mystery Incorporated team isn't even together in this movie. That's just bad. This is overall not a Scooby-Doo film. Only thing that makes it Scooby-Doo is the fact that there are Mystery Incorporated team members and a couple of, you know, homages to the old cartoons. Great, but other than that, no Scooby-Doo spirit there. This is a movie that I would recommend only to like a family with little children. Like, little kids would probably like it. But other than that, like, to Scooby-Doo fans, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, I didn't like it. My friend who's also a Scooby-Doo fan didn't like it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of Scooby-Doo fans aren't going to enjoy this. This is not a Scooby-Doo plot, or there's no Scooby-Doo spirit, as I already said. And can I recommend this to like movie fans or something as a good animated film? I mean, it's decent. I guess it's okay. It's watchable. But the problem is it's so primitive. There is nothing unique here. There's nothing that I can say that, hey, you know, hey, this guy, this friend of mine, watch this movie. Even if you don't like Scooby, there is this good component in there that I really like. No. Really, to be honest, there was nothing in this movie that stands out. So in general, other than little kids, I wouldn't recommend Scoob to anyone. If you want a good Scooby-Doo property, a Scooby-Doo show or a movie, let me tell you, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, it came out in 2010. It was on TV for until 2013. There were 2 seasons, and I was a huge fan back then. When I watched this show for the first time, I stumbled upon it out of nowhere on the internet. I watched it, and I was so happy to see a good Scooby-Doo show. This is it. If you want to see how Scooby-Doo should be done, this is it. There is a great mystery that at times gave me goosebumps. I love that the Scooby-Doo team is together and they're solving classic, amazing mysteries that work. And in the Scooby-Doo spirit, there are ghosts, there's everything you need in a Scooby-Doo story. And as I said, as a mystery, it works so well. It gives you chills, it gets you excited, it gets you guessing who is behind all of this. There's a big mystery and there are small mysteries, the big plot and small things that our characters are solving here and there. It's perfect. I love Mystery Incorporated. If you've never seen it and if you want a good Scooby-Doo adventure, this is it. 2 seasons. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the 25 or 26 episodes each season. Check it out. This is the good Scooby-Doo show. Scoob, unfortunately, isn't that. And it should take notes from that show. I'm actually glad Scoob came out in like home media, streaming services and everything, and not in theaters, because this isn't a movie you need to see in a theater, really. It's not a movie theater must experience. It's a straight to home media, home release film, in my opinion. So overall, Scoob was a disappointment, although it didn't break my heart because I was already expecting this. I lowered my expectations. I'm glad I did. And as I said, if you have little kids, I guess you can show this film, but otherwise, this isn't a movie I recommend to anyone. It has an okay, animation, I guess, and the team is okay, but they're separated. The mystery is absolute garbage, and the plot is super primitive. It's a primitive cartoon, unfortunately, and that's it. That's the new Scoob. I was really confused, what grade to give this, because it's kind of between 6 and 7 for me. But I'm going to settle 6.5 out of 10. It's not garbage, it's okay. There are a couple of jokes that work, and it's, watchable. But other than that, this isn't something that I would recommend, as I said, to anyone other than little kids. So Scoob, you get a 6.5 out of 10. So despite everything I said, I actually wouldn't mind if there was a sequel to Scoob because, our characters, the OG Mystery Incorporated team, is good. They are the team that we know and love. And if there was a good mystery, the OG Scooby mystery, it would actually work. So if they did that, I would watch it for sure. Although I am really afraid that if they did a sequel, there would be Falcon again. And I don't care about his character, but they could easily put him in the film since he's now an established character. So yeah, if they have him, I don't want it. But we'll see what happens. So that is it for this video, guys. Let me know down in the comments below, have you seen Scoob? And if you have, what do you think about it? Are you a Scooby-Doo fan? Did this movie satisfy you? Do you agree with me, disagree with me? I'm really curious about your opinion on this film, so let me know. Also, I will have a link for my Instagram down in the bio for this video because I post stuff about movies there and about my channel, about stuff that I'm watching. So if you're curious and about my opinion on films, go check out my Instagram as well. I will have a link there. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, you can leave a like. If you didn't, you can leave a dislike. And if you don't want to miss my other movie and TV show related videos, subscribe to this channel. Bye, guys.